filed just minutes ago in the shooting of 16-year-old Ralph Yarl.
The Clay County prosecutor now says this crime had a racial component. Here's what we know. 84-year-old Andrew D. Lester is wanted on 2 felony counts, first-degree assault and armed criminal action. He is not in custody. There is a warrant that is out for his arrest right now. Clay County prosecutor Zach Thompson says that Lester shot the teenager through his glass front door, once in the head, once in the arm. The prosecutor says that Yarl never stepped inside Lester's house. Yarl accidentally went to the wrong house to pick up his siblings, mixing up Northeast 115th Terrace and Northeast 115th Street.
We have team coverage of these updates. KMBC 9's Matt Evans is looking into how the FBI may now get involved.
First, let's go to KMBC 9's Jackson Kurtz up in Liberty after hearing from the Clay County prosecutor within the last hour. Jackson?
Yeah, we got a lot more details from that press conference, all in this probable cause here that gives us more details about what happened that night. I'm just going to tell you about a little what's in here. We now know that this suspect is Andrew Lester, that he laid down to bed is what he told police when he was taken into quarters to give a recorded statement. He was laying down in bed when he heard the doorbell. Lester stated that's when he picked up his gun to answer the door. Now, once he went up to the door, he had an interior door, exterior door, opened that. He saw a black male approximately 6 feet tall at his doorstep. He shot twice within a few seconds. Lester says no words were exchanged during the incident and that the male had not been to his house before. That male, we now know, Ralph Yarl. Lester was visibly upset, they say. Here's what Clay County prosecutors had to say.
My message to the community is that in Clay County, we enforce the laws and we follow the laws, and that does not matter where you come from or what you look like or how much money you have. Everyone is held to the same standard.
Now, Lester's whereabouts are unknown tonight. We don't know if he's at his house. We don't know if he's somewhere else. So we're still waiting for him to be taken into custody here as Yarl still recovers tonight after those injuries. Live in Clay County, Jackson Kurtz, KMBC 9 News.
All right, Jackson, new video tonight from the home where the shooting happened. Vandals have spray painted the house, and it looks like someone threw some eggs there as well. Protesters also marched in the area over the weekend demanding justice. We continue our team coverage, this time with KMBC 9's Matt Evans.
He's right outside police headquarters downtown. Matt, you're looking ahead to where this case may go?
Yeah, that's right. So while Kansas City police have finished their initial investigation here and now there have been state charges filed, there have been calls for more federal charges in the way of hate crimes to be filed as well. One of the main calls made by protesters this weekend is for hate crime charges to be filed. In Missouri, there's no separate charges for hate crimes, but under state statute, if certain offenses were, quote, knowingly motivated by bias, there could be enhanced penalties. For example, some misdemeanors, including certain assaults, would be charged as felonies.
This is a federal crime, so that would supersede anything that was in Missouri anyway.
The more serious hate crimes come from the federal government. Retired FBI agent Jeff Lanza says the Bureau investigates federal hate crimes, and investigators try to determine two things.
First of all, whether a crime occurred, and then also whether the motivation for that crime was based on hate or, in other words, a bias.
He says it's investigated like the FBI investigates many other crimes, collecting evidence, conducting interviews to see if hate toward a specific group of people was a motivating factor.
Hate is a misnomer, right? It's not really, hate is used to just categorize a bias. And it's a motivation that someone committed a crime because of a specific bias against a group of people.
We did reach out to the FBI and DOJ today. Neither would comment, even if they are involved in this case. But Lanza does add, with a case getting this much attention on a national level, it's hard to imagine that the FBI and DOJ aren't at least keeping tabs on what's happening here. Live in Kansas City tonight, Matt Evans, KMBC 9 News.